viewpoints on this show is strictly to the host and not to AOC, LCG, what's the other one name there? LUS Fiber, Cox Communication. All the viewpoints is strictly on the host and the Community Matters show. And I'm gonna say good morning again to you guys. Y'all know we like to start the show off with a prayer. So I got to see if I can get my prayer warrior on. Good morning, Brother Jay.
Good morning to the South Louisiana listening audience. Brother Wallace, while you make your phone call, I just want to say I appreciate the followers and viewers of this fine Community Matters show. In 2023, we're going to make sure we try to stay on time, try to keep the topics up, and try to inform the community, Brother Wallace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, we're in 2023 now, and man, we got a whole lot going on, especially in D.C. And D.C. is supposed to be the heaven of the United States.
Yeah. But it's a microcosm of what's going on a local level also. You know, we got so many issues. We have elections coming up with different people. Everybody be finding their candidates. Everybody, you know, it's almost like a football game season, you know.
Yes.
But except, you know, this is for real stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let me see if I can get the prayer warrior on the phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of nippy out there, South Louisiana.
Yeah. Why y'all turn the heat off?
Yeah, yeah.
It was. We had some nice days here, you know.
Yes.
So.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you, Ruby. How's everything going with you this morning?
I am so satisfied. I am thoroughly blessed, and I know it.
I sure hope you keep it dry with all that water we seen on TV, on the news.
I know.
Man.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? The people that trust God, we don't worry about whether or not.
No. It's just cold, you know. So yes. So you ready to ignite our spirit?
Absolutely, sweetie.
All right.
And I want you guys to think about this. It says, I am the creator of the universe. I'm with you and for you.
Mm-hmm.
What more could you need? When you feel some slack, it is because you are not connecting with me at a deep level. I offer abundant life. Your part is to trust me, refusing to worry about anything.
Mm-hmm.
It is not so much adverse events that make you anxious as it is your thoughts about those events. Your mind engages in efforts to take control of a situation, to bring about the result you desire. Your thoughts close in on the problem, determined to make things go your way, and you forget that I am in charge of your life.
Mm-hmm.
The only remedy is to switch your focus from the problem to my presence. Stop all your striving and watch to see what I will do. I am the Lord. This message can be found in Romans chapter 8, 31 to 32, Micaiah 7:7, or 1 Corinthians 12 to verse 3.
All right. Hey,
yes.
That's a blessing within itself, you know, and we thank you. We love you here, you know, for you spreading the word, igniting our spirit. So we love you for that, and I hope we have a wonderful show today. Brother Keith had to go on an appointment today, so he's not here. Just me and Brother Jay. You know?
You, Brother Jay?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Jay. You know,
Thank you.
so proud of you. And you know, we prayed for you and Keith. You know that, right?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Didn't we, Wallace?
Oh,
we
yeah.
prayed for Brother Jay and Keith.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Many times, sweetie. It's wonderful to know that God delivered you guys. We have an awesome God.
Oh yeah, we sure
Yes.
do.
Yes,
You know?
thank you
And,
so much.
He's so awesome. He even gave us you.
Well, you know what? He knew I wanted to be there, so he just hooked himself.
Yes.
You guys have changed my life, really. You don't know that part.
Well, you know, I hope we changing a lot of other people's life that's listening to the show, that's a follower of the show and everything else, you know? So
That's right.
we sure appreciate you.
You know, I'm not gonna even tell you guys, but one day y'all gonna see my plane land. I will be right there. You guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's on my bucket list.
Okay, yeah, we would love to have you in here in the studio checking things out. Okay?
And then I can bring you guys something. All right, sweetie, I love you guys, and you guys have a wonderful show. I'll be listening.
All right,
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, man. Well, where we gonna get started this morning at, Brother Jay?
Well, brother, we know the train is blowing, so we know where we at. We at the AOC Community Media. Thank the staff and management, thank Matt and William and Christy for help putting these wonderful shows on here at 88.3 FM.
No, it's not 80.
No, there you go. Yeah, we cross-promoting our shows, you know, at AOC Community Media. I'm slipping. My senior moment.
Yeah, well, hey, bro, we all have those moments. Sometimes I go into some senior moments when I get up out of bed. I'll be wondering what I got to do next, you know. But hey, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the things that I want to kind of bring up this morning on that officer getting rehired. You know?
Okay.
And the officer getting rehired, what's his name?
Estrada.
Yeah, Estrada.
Pablo Estrada.
But the former chief of police here, you know, had dismissed him because he hit a inmate, suspected inmate, while he was handcuffed and being booked at Parish Jail, you know. Now, this is one of the reasons that they got rid of the chief, you understand me, because he was a no-nonsense chief of police, you know. And these things, they're allowed to happen, you know. Well, during that time, they had let a person on that board, you know, a former councilman on that board, and while he was on the board, they was asking him to resign, you know, from that position, because he have a talk radio show, and he had mentioned what had happened on his talk show. Well, you know, while he was on the board, he went and did some research, because they had asked him to recuse himself from that hearing. I don't have a problem with him recusing himself from the hearing. I don't have no problem with that. The problem I have is he should have waited till the day of, you know, and put himself, recuse himself from the board then, the day of. But he gave him a way out, you know, as far as I'm concerned. And look, I don't have no problem with what he did. You know, he protected himself. He didn't want himself to get in any problem, you know. But I would have waited till the day of to do it, not give him a way out, because the guy got his job back, you know, and have no problem with that, you know. And what, he got 60 days before he get paid, without pay. He got 60 days still off without pay, you know, which that's supposed to be a good thing, because a lot of times these police officers be doing stuff and they get suspended with pay, you know. And when you suspend somebody with pay, you know, guess what? They're not really being held accountable for what they did, you know? Because all you're doing is say, hey, do what you want to do, we're going to pay you, and we're going to lay you off or give you some home time with pay. You know, so that gives those officers or anybody, you know, a reason to do what they do, and they shouldn't be doing it, you know?
Right.
You know what I mean, Brother Jay? Why they do that, you know? Because, in other words, you giving them like a key to the front door and tell them to come in when you want, do what you want, and you still could come in, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah, well, and brother, and I have a theory, you know, I discuss it with other people, and the thing with these things, in the end, the community loses when we have officers who act in or violate their oath of office and act in a manner to violate somebody's civil rights. And why have a fire and civil service board if there's no way to discipline these people who they're supposed to be somewhat governing in a sense?
Right.
And we understand about legal stuff, everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and all that whole rigmarole stuff. But police officers are held to a higher standard, and it continues with insult after insults in the community that it serves. And I'm gonna say this for me, black community, that's the way I look at it. Because we lose in the end if we keep having these same thing with these officers who are never really disciplined in a right manner, you know, not a slap on the hand. And the Fire and Civil Service Board, what is their purpose? To be advocates, almost like the local unions are advocates for the police officers, instead of being someone who will discipline somebody fairly for violating somebody's civil rights or perceived civil rights. So I don't blame the ACLU to continue filing these lawsuits against these local jurisdictions and the state police, because nothing has changed in Louisiana from my perspective. And it's very disappointing that Fire and Civil Service Board is not doing the job that it's supposed to be designed to. That is my opinion, brother.
Yeah, well, you know, very good observation on what you're saying, because I look at it like this here. You know, you hire an officer to protect and serve the people, you know, but if they're gonna hold court on the street, if they're gonna be the disciplinary action person, you know, they're not protecting and serving. They're doing what they want to do or what they feel like they should be doing, you know, and that's not right. And if we're not gonna have a disciplinary board, you know, to make sure that all the things that's supposed to happen for the community or the people that they are protecting, you know, it ain't no good, you know. Hey, look here, if y'all need to call in and you got something on your mind, you know, don't be shy. 337-347-7236. Call in and let me know what's going on.
Don't be scared today. There's not a lot of traffic in the studio today, so don't be scared. This is an open mic. Brother Waters is making that call.
Yeah. So you know, and you know what I'm saying about Kenneth Boudreaux, you know, because he got on TV, so I could call his name, you know. And what I'm saying about him, I told him that to his face, you know. Not that I went at him, he just happened to be cleaning his yard, and I came around the corner and there he was, and I pulled up and I talked to him. I said, hey man, you know, and he explained to me what's going on. You know, I'm not faulting him for what he did. Like I told him, I said, man, the only thing I don't like about all of this is you should have waited till the day of. You know what I mean? Not come out before you went there, you know, because you was already on the board, you know. You wasn't handling no case or nothing like this here. They couldn't, how you say that? They couldn't penalize you for none of this, you know. But if you went through it, you know, yeah, they might be able to penalize you, but I would have waited. till-
Well,
yeah.
I mean, given all the drama on the Fire and Civil Service Board, at the end of the day, the end game was the officer got his job back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and he's certainly smiling. And that remains other issues before the Fire and Civil Service Board. I say the voters of Lafayette, especially the black community, when those from the other community come and try to get your vote, that should be a litmus test. That should be a test to any candidate. Do you support disciplined officers when they do wrong, and especially when it's people of minority colors? And I'm not buying that whole notion that this officer was a Hispanic in the sense that he's in a separate group, because most of those guys who got this Hispanic sounding name or Hispanic, they basically register themselves as some Caucasian, and they uphold the thing. So
Yeah.
even in California, where they got a lot of Hispanic officers, they actually were part of a very notorious gang that was terrorizing the black community as police are not Lafayette, LA County Sheriff Department. They had some gang of Hispanic officers who were brutalizing the black community. So we can't try to say, well, that was a minority officer that was inflicting some civil rights violation on a black person or other people in Lafayette, but they were doing this all under the color of law, because once you put in a uniform, whether you're black or white, and you're inflicting pain on somebody, or you're meting out justice on the side of the road, you are part of law enforcement. So, Fire and Civil Service Board, do your job, because the voters don't remember this, and the voters need to take action. And I'm glad they got so many progressive groups going to be doing some things in South Louisiana soon.
Yeah, Bro Jay, you ever watch Betrayal of the Badge?
Yeah.
Oh man, you know, a lot of that stuff I could recognize, you know, they have made movies out of it.
Mhm.
But like you say, you know, California had some rough policemen,
Mhm.
not just men in blue, but the sheriff department.
Right.
They used to say the sheriff department was the Crip. No. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the police department was the Crip,
Mhm.
and the sheriff department was the Blood.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, because they formed these group of people, you know,
Mhm.
and they got on the street and made these guys, you know, form groups, you know,
Mhm.
accusing of groups and stuff like this here, so they could continue doing what they was doing, and what they was doing was wrong.
Right.
You know, so all these things, you know, we got to look at what's going on. You know, look what's going on in Washington D.C. right now.
Wow.
You know.
So now your president, your president, my president Biden,
Yeah.
and other people who all claim him as president. So he going to be under the same scrutiny as Donald Trump?
So yeah, well, that as far as I'm concerned, that's what they call the old saying, coup d'etat.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna do Biden the way y'all did Trump. You know.
Well, hold up. We're going further. The first thing they'll say, I know that Negro Obama got some papers too. That's what I'm hearing on social media.
Yeah.
That's where they're going with this.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna try to go back to him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because Biden was his former vice president.
Right.
You know, and all we're gonna get is mixed mud.
We say that this Congress that's dominated by these conservatives, and again, I'm an independent, so I don't play favor most of the time, but I tend to vote Democratic principle because they have better choices than these conservative Republicans.
Mhm.
The conservative Republican have aligned himself with people who want to do away with black folk, the neo-Nazis and the racist agenda out there, and so we got to be plain and simple about it. So when I say I'm not in support of the conservative Republicans, there's a reason why I'm not in support of them. So what you're seeing in D.C., Brother Wallace, they're going to do some what we call chaos. That's all going to be chaos.
Yeah.
They're going to want to investigate everything. They're going to investigate how many many black folks went to Obama inauguration back then. They going that far back. You know, they going to investigate everything that's silly and stupid. Because this Republican Party has turned into a group of racist idiots. Not just idiots, but racist.
Mhm. But, you know, that's the same thing that's going on in D.C. right now. You know, they're sitting down there, dressed up in suits,
Mhm.
you know, making money. You know, the taxpayers' money is paying them, the lobbyists' money is paying them, corporation is paying them, and what are we getting other than a bunch of chaos?
Right.
A bunch of lip service. That's all it is,
Right.
lip service. And
Yeah.
they keep lipping.
And under this president, I'm not a big fan of him, but things have improved somewhat from when the other president was serving. You know, we have inflation went down a tad bit.
Mhm.
It had to go up to go down. We have gas prices somewhat leveling off, but we have high food prices in some respects, like high eggs. You know,
Yeah.
you know, and so forth. So some things have improved.
Yeah, well, some things I disapprove of, but I want to go back to the 60s,
Mhm.
the late 60s, you know. I remember we used to pay 25, 35 cents a gallon,
Mhm.
you know. Nixon came in and he sold all the gas I ran, everything went up, you know, the gas. Here come Reagan. The interest rate went up on the Reagan, you know, and interest rate went almost 30%, you know, on a dollar. Here come George Bush, you know, the senior George Bush, nothing didn't too much happen until he made the statement he ain't never seen nobody get beat on the side of the street like that was
Yeah.
with the Rodney King.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, he went against policemen when he made that statement.
Mhm.
You know, here come the son, George Bush Jr.
Mhm.
You know, he got on. He made a what they call those speeches, president's speech.
Mhm.
He said he didn't know America was addicted to oil. Everything shot up in the gas market.
Right.
You know, some of those truckers almost couldn't afford to put fuel in their truck. You know, so now President Obama come in. They try to make him a one-term president. You know, and all of these prices is going up right now. Guess who they're blaming it on?
President Obama.
No,
Biden.
Biden. Yeah,
Right.
Biden.
Yeah.
They're blaming it all on Biden.
Yeah, when the previous person left the car raggedy, after he done drove it down a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, well, you know, no, things didn't go up then, you know, on his watch.
But he set the stage for it to.
Yeah, he was setting the stage the whole time, you know. And I still say, if he was still president today, we'd be under dictatorship.
Martial law.
Yeah, because that's what he wanted.
Yeah, you see, this is what I'm calling about hypocritical. You know, we got some here where the AOC does television shows and they rail about government overstepping and government taking over and doing this and government kicking in doors and IRS taking everything. But they don't realize that, or they're listening to what they're saying. They're the same people they supporting this for them to be some type of dictatorship.
Yeah.
You know, they some hypocrites. You know, it's like they're saying these things, but they don't really believe what they're saying.
Yeah, well, you know, and I think some of them believe what they're saying. They just don't know how to get out of it. I stop saying it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's basically what is really going on, man. Everybody talking about inflation. I'm talking about it too, you know, because it's going way worse than I ever seen it before.
You were in the store too the other day. You saw the high prices, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Just a few bags of groceries is pushing $100.
Yeah, well, you know, I like to drink inshore, you know, And at one time, it was $8.
Right.
You know, $8.49 or
Right.
something like this here. Now it's 13.
Wow.
So, you know, that's a big increase, you know? And they talk about eat healthy, but how can
Eating healthy is more expensive than eating.
oh yeah, eating garbage, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. The dollar store, Dollar General, and I hate to, I'm not plugging the store, I'm just saying that's the meal a lot of the young people are getting, and that's the stuff that affecting them real bad.
Mhm.
Why they're hyperactive, why they suffering from all types of ailments at a young age. That dollar store menu is not a good menu in some cases
Mhm.
for mamas to be pushing big baskets of groceries at the dollar store. I would rather see them pushing baskets at Whole Foods, but Whole Foods is way out of their league, you know, or they purse strings,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, well, you know, everything that's good for you, you can't afford it almost.
Right,
Everything that ain't
Right.
good for you and unhealthy,
right.
you can afford it, so
You can afford it.
that's what you do for a meal. You know, fast food is good, but it ain't good.
Even
for
the
you.
fast food is expensive.
Yeah.
You remember the Whopper, we not plugging no, don't go out there, as brothers they were telling y'all about Whopper. The Whopper was a big burger back in the day.
Mhm.
You could get it for under $5.
Yeah.
Now, to buy, they got the 2 Whopper. I remember they were sending the coupons, you would get them for 2 for 8, a whole meal, fries and a drink.
Mhm.
The coupons were $8.99. I got the 2 coupons to prove that. I usually don't eat that stuff.
Mhm.
And now the coupons is $12.99 for the
Wow.
same meal. So this is how much they went up. And I understand you want to pay workers more,
Mhm.
but you're not getting a lot of productivity because these workers don't even want to answer the bell. So I think is food in general is going up, and I know wages has to be paid for people working those type of jobs, but the corporations are making the most out of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The corporate head. Amazon is still making zillions of dollars, and they hollering about they have to lay off people. All these big companies, Twitter, Facebook, got to restructure, and because they have to lay things off and stuff like that. They want to build big and have to finish low.
Okay, we got a call coming in. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, guys. Good show.
Good morning, brother.
Everything is high, and the Republicans are supposed to change everything. We're gonna have to just wait and see. They're still going up, so they say if they voted them in, they was gonna drop the prices of gas and food and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to touch a little bit about the homeless because
That was the next
The
subject
north
that
side.
was coming up.
because they tried to make it be a Glenn Lassard thing, and I said maybe we could get Trump back, be that he did so good on the border.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe we could build a wall and put everybody, the homeless, on the south side. That way they don't come on this end again.
Mhm.
No,
You
yeah,
know.
that's a good observation.
Yeah, they like to play the blame
It's
game.
a city parish wide thing. It's not a north side thing.
Mhm.
Because Lafayette is the core from I-1049 to
Right.
get into Lafayette, Broussard, Youngsville, whatever. You have to pass through the north side to go there, to get there. And when they see all that homeless and junk and just people in the woods, you know, it's just a bad showing how the tourist is.
Mhm.
You know, hotel, motel, food, and all this stuff. You got to clean up all the areas, not one area.
Right.
Mhm.
Right, and you see, River Ranch, they would not accept that issue in River Ranch, and what I'm saying, it's like a tale of two cities in Lafayette, and because Lafayette represents all the areas, you know, and they are the beacon, like you said, a corridor, a beacon for jobs and so forth. But every construction company, I see major construction, hire a lot of Hispanics, and I don't have nothing against the Hispanics because they're going to take the job, right? But there's not a real serious efforts to make a workforce and to help employ some of these homeless people who get off these buses looking for jobs and looking for a new way of life in this area, you know.
But like I said, I can see a lot.
Yes.
Of Catholic charities.
Yes.
You know, the Bishop Relief Fund and
Mm-hmm.
doing this. I bet you if you go down St. John Street by the Bishop, it's clean over there.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I bring the homeless underneath that oak tree evangelist, the cathedral?
Right.
They wouldn't want that. Like I said, one more thing I'm going to just add to that. Youngsville and Broussard is predominantly white area, Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
Right.
They don't have any people of color represent Youngsville and Broussard.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from the mayor to the councilman to this to that, you know, and a guy made a comment, somebody ran into his house, some lady from camera, bro,
Mm-hmm.
and he mentioned that the people from Lafayette need to come there and slow down. It's not a drag strip. You know, like, if they wouldn't have come to Youngsville, nobody would have run to my house.
Yeah, well, yeah, they want to blame.
The person of color that ran into his house, the way he made a comment about it, and that kind of disturbed me on TV.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I know that's his privilege, his house, but he said the people from Lafayette, he mentioned, and the lady from really from Cameroon.
Right.
So,
Well, you know,
guys,
One more thing, Carla. Would you think the Republicans, you know, just got through saying that they go, if they move on something or change things, but I don't think they're gonna be moved because they're gonna be so busy trying to investigate President Obama went to a disco and started dancing like a real brother dance. That's the next thing they're gonna try to investigate.
But like I said, man, with everything going on, and we never, there's so much things we can touch on.
Yes.
Because that governor's race is going to be really crazy.
Yes.
You better start getting bulletproof vests or helmets.
Yeah.
Because it's going to get messy.
Yes.
yes.
You know, because the Republicans got an idea what they want on their agenda is like talking about Obama. General left the state broke.
Mm-hmm.
Republican.
Yeah.
And nobody's not saying nothing what he did today.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're going to put a person like Jeff Landry. Think General was bad. Jeff Landry will come back and really tear the state up.
Yes.
Break the state.
That's the lesser educated clone of Ron DeSantis.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, he been trying to sue the governor ever since he's been in office. You know, every time governor would make a move, Jeff Landry got the lawsuit papers out trying to sue him.
And at the end of the day, people still need to look at his role in the Republicans Attorney General Association that funded some of these insurrectionists. Nothing was never said of it. Just said the first part of the stuff that went on, but they need to know how much influence that he had with those insurrectionists that went down to D.C. as head of the National Republicans Attorney General Association.
Well, Jeff Landry was talking about the government should stay out of the local business. I don't know if y'all been following
Yes.
Callahoola with in St. Martinville.
Yeah, we had the guest on the open line, the sister that was spearheading the look at all of that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They closed the school, so people to be open it up and don't want the little white kids be bused across town.
Mm-hmm.
They want to walk to school or be local to where they know the environment. But now we've been bused for years.
Mm-hmm.
Had to get up, sleeping on the bus, sleeping in class because we got up so early and they got up at a reasonable time to be right there at the Walter School.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff Landry shouldn't have nothing to do with nothing right now, because it's like the state troopers, he shouldn't get involved into that, but you think he got involved into that?
No.
No.
I agree. Okay,
Yeah,
so,
no, just like he did Alton Sterling when he let's say smartly appointed one of those Negro lawyers from Lafayette, and they know who they are. Everybody probably know who he is, and he supposedly was going to be looking at that case of Alton Sterling, and that was a ploy right there. And they've been doing that, and that's what I was telling Brother Wallace. They've been using certain things, like the Fire and Civil Service Board, like Chief Glover, all of these things to throw a smoke screen, then at the last minute pull the plug on the change. Mm-hmm. They did it in New Iberia with the NAACP leader supporting Sheriff Gackle, and while the NAACP in Lafayette was out there in New Iberia protesting. And so, they've been playing these games, and when the question is, when we going to catch on to the games that they're playing us?
Mm-hmm.
well, they've been doing that, we just can't, I don't want to get into.
Yes, sir.
But the north side with the homeless, but they got somebody supposed to be helping the north side.
Mm.
They want us to go online and see what north side needs. Just get in your vehicle and ride and see all the streets. It's bumpy, lumpy, holes and everything. The homeless, just lighting. I'm not gonna go on and on. Business need to come in, and like I said, I hope somebody keep pushing a hospital on the north side.
Yes,
sir.
That's business there. That's 24/7, 365 days, and they know that's gonna boost the north side up 100% or 200%.
Yes.
Well,
they won't do that.
I'm sure glad you take an observation, because I'm one that is pushing for a hospital. I don't have the prestige or the know-how to go about doing it. But if you're gonna go and find investors to build a jail, to lease it back to the city of Lafayette or the parish, you should be able to go to the investors and ask them to build a hospital with emergency access on the north side, and because a hospital, schools, and things like this here, people come towards it, because they don't have so many ills, and that's what we need. We need a major hospital here with emergency access,
Right.
and our elected officials in Baton Rouge should be pushing that live on the north side, that have anything to do with the north side. They should be doing that, but guess what? Everybody act like they're scared to say it,
So you got to look at when Josh announced, Getter announced his candidate for mayor president.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his donors. Stella, and I'm not pushing Stella, Giles, and I don't know who all the other people behind it, but they don't live on the north side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They got the big money. They don't need the little man, the homeless. They don't care about the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
They might give them a few dollars just for tax write-offs, but that's about it. But they don't want to have nothing to do with the neighborhood, keep their neighborhood or their area clean.
Well, they got a big sign at the thruway saying, "Watch who you panhandle with." Yeah, they sure have that big old sign. And I seen that a couple of days ago. I said, well, look at
Brother James, I seen the mayor said if you can still give the homeless because I think it on a panhandler, just bring them in the parking lot somewhere, not on the highway. So
Yeah, that was the police chief of New Iberia, Todd Dalmore. He was basically saying, yeah. I mean, he really he didn't know how to handle something like that, and so he said that, but he don't really mean that. They don't want the homeless to have anything, because there are two homeless centers in New Iberia. One in my old neighborhood that is barely being used, and we've been hearing stuff. People been calling us, so we don't have no proof, and saying, well, you know, as people just collecting some type of title check to run that shelter, they don't really do anything. So a lot of the stuff that these people are doing that proclaim they're doing things, I know Catholic Charities is doing some things. Okay, we will give them that. But I'm talking about these other pseudo groups. They're not really doing anything. Just having a title and drawing a check for running some facility that they don't do anything. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you about on Willow.
Mm-hmm.
Good bit of years ago, Charmaine Neville from New Orleans came there. It was women banner shelter
Right.
for kids and women. I don't know how it became a homeless shelter for the men, but it's a homeless shelter. Nobody rezone or contact the people in the area for nothing. Because I was looking at the papers, you know, they put the people that did sexual
Yes,
crimes.
batteries and stuff like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where they got to register. So where they tell you on the papers where they live, and they got to have a card. So all these homeless people should have, they should take profile on them,
Mm-hmm.
or data, and try to track them to see where they came from, if they're wanted. You know,
Right.
they might have had, could be some serial killers.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Oh yeah.
But you think the city do that? No.
Because there's a second woman that disappeared that the media not even covering. A car was found in Brobridge, and there was a brief, you know, the media covered it in a brief statement. But it's a big issue when you're seeing young black women starting to get missing, and because they still haven't found the other one from Lafayette. So
Right.
and they not really, you know, highlighted, you know, to take some page out of my sister Khadija. If that was little Susie, they'd find little Susie in a minute. And you know how little Susie looked.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, my brother. I don't know. We got to keep speaking out and hope we could get people in power to really make a change. That's all I can see.
Yes.
Well, you got the city council and the parish council, and they vote on what their interest is and what their constituents is all about. They don't vote for Lafayette or the Lafayette parish.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an area that they familiar with, and that's it. They're not worried about Lafayette or the parish as a whole.
Right.
Well, Fix the Charter did that. Fix the Charter did that. When they came up with that bull crap and Fix the Charter, that's what did all of this. Because we used to have more control over our city than we have now. You know, we only got a parish council and a city council. And the city council don't have no control over too much of nothing but some of the budget, you know? But I heard
Now, services is being cut too, in Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, all the things and everything that they're not telling people went private sector. You know,
Right.
like the streets, mowing, it's just some things that nobody not saying nothing about, and the city council is voting on whatever was happening.
Mm-hmm.
You know, knocking the workers out.
Yeah, well, they privatize, they want to privatize everything.
But that's what I should say. They're privatizing a lot, and nobody not saying anything.
And all,
As the kid folks and
yeah,
friends and all that taking the privatize on the workers.
yeah.
So guess who they hired? like Brother Jay said, and I don't have no problem with these guys. The Mexicans.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you ought to see all of them that's working now. Sugarcane trucks, they're driving them all, you know. I used to see brothers driving a sugarcane truck. I don't see them no more. Well, hey, look, I ain't got no problem with somebody working, you know. Those that want to work. Some of us don't want to go to work, you know, for some dumb reason, you know. I don't like this kind of job. I don't like that kind of job. They take all the jobs, you know.
And here's the hypocritical stuff. And you see, this is what in this area, the same conservative movement, Republicans, Jeff Landry, Josh Gillard, they people support all of this stuff by let's go to the border, let's turn them around. This is why y'all need to elect me. But guess what? The biggest donors to the Republicans and the conservatives in the state of Louisiana, that last gubernatorial election, was the Louisiana sugarcane farmers. One of the biggest donors. They're the same people who hired a lot of the people who are undocumented workers and illegal, in some cases illegal, in some cases legal, right? But the cry was, let's go out there. You need to elect somebody tough on immigration.
Yeah.
Now, but the money is being funneled to the same conservative groups and people who want to get rid of the immigrants.
Yeah.
So that's a hypocritical. That's all that is a ploy to get you to come into their corner.
Yeah, well, that's why none of those elected officials is doing anything about it.
Yeah.
They donate money to their campaign.
Besides, it does some other thing. It actually increases the value of the criminal justice system to lock up the people who not working, who happen to be black folk, because they're not working. See,
but talking about working and supporting, what Higgins did for minorities, or doing for minorities in Washington.
I heard he gave a few dollars to Smile. Smile got a lot of complaints. That's what I'm hearing.
Was supposed to run for governor, and he backed out.
None guesser.
None guess.
No, not Gasser. He's in Washington. He went back, stayed in Washington.
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
What are you doing for minorities?
Huh?
This is base.
Right.
Those two guys are what I named is their base is level.
Right. Right.
Everything they want, they get.
And one caller called the radio show and said, yeah, John Kennedy, he's a smart guy playing dumb, and Jeff Landry is a dumb guy playing smart. I said, wow. Even though I disagree with that caller 99%, I had to agree with him on that.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Look, guys, I'm going to just almost closing time. I don't want to just take your whole show, but I like talking to y'all.
Thank you, brother.
I wish you would be extended. An hour is too short.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we're working on that. Appreciate your call. Always.
Appreciate it.
Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
Thank you so much.
All right, then, guys.
There's a lot of political stuff going on, Brother Wiles. I'm sorry I went so deep, man, but your callers bring it out of me, brother.
Hey, man.
I don't want you to get you sanctioned by any political figure that you. Wallace, Brother Senegal, the community manager, you can't come in this building because I heard y'all talking.
No. I don't worry about none of that, man. Man, look, they talking about the border now. When they shut down the Vietnam War, okay, all those Vietnamese came here, Look at all the people came from Cuba. From the embargo.
Right.
All those people coming from all over. this is not just the border, this is those people that's at the border, you know, can't afford to come in on an airplane, they dropping them off or from an airplane and stuff like this here. But this border thing, this is nothing new.
No, it's nothing new.
But they act like it just happened.
Yeah, it could be the end of the world and
Yeah.
so forth. Because they never, brother, look, they never fixed it. Because guess what? A lot of young black folks who probably would have had jobs, and I'm not trying to pit them against the other groups, but there are no jobs in those fields. We mentioned the sugarcane field, sugarcane workers field. We mentioned construction, all those big companies, a lot of the companies that building Lafayette General Hospital, building the school, Lamar and Company. Then again, I'm seeing them, they're always getting a contract, big contract. You can't tell me there's no black minority contractors big enough to do jobs around the country, bring them into Lafayette and do that. But it's the same people get the same jobs.
Well, what they make it hard for minorities, blacks, you know, whenever we're getting ready to make a touchdown, they move the goalpost.
Well, or one of us dropped the ball.
Well, yeah. So that's what it is. They make it hard. You know, they gotta have a little mini book. You understand me? They gotta fill out when they go to try to get a contract. So all these things, man, we are not allowing minorities to get jobs. We're not teaching our kids. You know, I'm trying to tell some of these school board members, hey man, why don't y'all build a school with simulators in them to teach these guys how to run an excavator, how to run a grader, all these things, you know? But they're not doing it, you know? And the people that have it, if you don't know how to operate these things, you ain't getting the job, you know?
Right.
When I used to go to a lot of construction sites, you know, these little young guys, 15, 16 years old, they might have been 18, you know, but they driving these Bobcats and stuff like this here, and they turn them loose. But you don't see that.
No, you don't see that.
Well, folks, look here. We coming to the close of our show. You know, I thank you for letting us come into your heart, your eyes, your ears, and into your home. You know, I had a great time this morning. I want to thank all my callers. You know, I appreciate the call. You know, and y'all have a great, wonderful weekend. Remember, vote. Register to vote. Let's be ready to vote. We got some people that's coming in office that's not going to be for us.
I'm sorry.
So, thank you.
It took off fast. Okay. Let me cut the stream off.